Welcome back. This is the final part of our video that we explains the contract for Richmond area housing. This part right here explains that 2 months before your contract expires, I will be showing the room to potential tenants. And so I just need to make sure that your bedroom is not locked for the showing. Of course, again, I will be giving you a 24-hour notice before I enter your property, but I also require that you do keep your bedroom unlocked, because sometimes the tenants do lock them, but your bedroom needs to be unlocked so then I can show the tenant. Now, if I come and show the property and your bedroom actually is locked, I will have to charge you $50 per offense because I could potentially lose that potential tenant. Okay? This part right here explains that when you move out, of course, everything needs to be cleaned. Your room is definitely, of course, 100% your responsibility, but also the common areas need to be cleaned as well. And so how that works is that I try to make everything as fair as I can. So anyone that moves out has the ability and the responsibility and the chance to clean the common areas. Now, how I make it fair is that anything that is going to be charged will be split down the middle between all the tenants. So, for example, let's say that we have a stove that is filthy and needs to be cleaned, and I have people clean it, and it costs me, for example, 15 bucks. Okay? And there are 3 tenants living at that property. So what I would do is, if you choose not to clean the stove, then since it cost me 15 bucks, I will charge each tenant $5. I will charge you $5 since you did not clean the stove. Okay. Now this right here explains that once your contract expires, of course, that date, of course, you will be surrendering the keys and the property to me. And if you are late in moving out and you don't move out on time, of course, I do have people waiting for you to move in, and also my cleaning crew. So if you don't move out on time, what will happen is I will have to charge you $50 per day because there is people trying to move in after you. Okay. Now, this part right here explains that there's to be no pets at the property. Now, what we're really worried about are larger pets, such as dogs, cats, ferrets. We're not really concerned about fish, hamsters, rabbits, things like that, birds. We don't really care about the smaller animals. What we really do care about are the larger animals I explained, such as dogs, cats, and ferrets. Now, since there are no pets that I've mentioned at the property, if later on I do find out that you do sneak an animal in, so please do not sneak an animal in. But if I find out that you do, then of course I will have to charge you $100 per month. Now, there is no way for me to know when you actually snuck that animal in. So what I would do is I would charge you $100 per month from the beginning of the contract to the present. So let's say that you have stayed with me for 6 months. I would charge you $600 for sneaking that animal in. So please don't sneak that animal in. It's all stated up front. And there is to be no animals of the sort which I've mentioned at the property at all. So of course, no visitors, no pet sitting, no animals at the property whatsoever. Okay. All right, let's go over late charge. Your late charge is going to be 10% of your rent. Okay. So what's going to happen is the rent is due on the first day of every month. All right. So what I would recommend is that you send the check, I'd say 1 week before the first of the month. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes it is the post office's fault. Sometimes it gets lost. Sometimes it's a holiday. Sometimes they're just late. I've actually had that happen to myself, paying my own mortgage. So because of that reason, I always recommend that you send it 1 week before the first. All right, so if it doesn't arrive on time, I will have to charge you a late fee. I actually don't want to charge anything extra than the rent. That's all I want is your rent money. But I do have to charge you the late fee if you are late. And the reason why is because I have a lot of tenants, and actually a lot of them know each other. So let's say someone finds out that I allow you to be late, and then all my other tenants at the other properties will find out and say, you know what, Chow's pretty lenient. Let's all be late. And at that point, I'll have an epidemic on my hands, and I really can't afford that. So I will charge you a late fee. If it is late, no questions asked, I'll just go ahead and charge you the late fee. All right, now I am pretty lenient in that I won't charge you a late fee until the 5th. So the night of the 5th, I will charge you a late fee if it is not in my mailbox. And I will be giving you the address here shortly. All right, and so please send it on time. I can't express enough. I always happen, once in a while, I do have a late tenant. It kills me because I definitely don't want to charge you anything, but I will have to charge you that late fee. In fact, if you send it in a week before the 1st, plus I give you the 5 extra days, it's almost, it's really almost half a month that you're getting it in. So there really should be no excuse for that, okay? All right. This part right here explains that if I have to kick you out of the property due to misbehavior and not following the contract, I will have to charge you a penalty fee of 1 month's rent. In fact, anytime that this contract is not fulfilled fully, there will be a charge of 1 month's rent. So I've never actually had to do this before, and it's actually come close a couple of times, but I've never had to kick someone out due to misbehavior and not following their contract. But let's say you had, a live-in boyfriend or something like that, and it's causing problems. I'll tell you, your boyfriend or girlfriend, is not part of the contract, and they can't live there. And if you continue to allow that to happen, well, then I guess, we can't do business together, and I'd have to, kick you out, and I will charge you 1 month's rent for disobeying the contract. Okay. Now, this part down here explains that let's say you decide to terminate the contract because sometimes things happen. Let's say you you've had found a boyfriend or girlfriend that you decided to move in with. That does happen. It's happened before, and you want to save money, so you want to move in with him or her instead. So what would happen is if you decide to do that and you want to end your contract early, well, like I said earlier, anytime you end the contract early, it's going to be a 1 month's penalty fee. But in addition, I actually also require you to give me 2 months notice as well. So if you don't give me 2 months notice, here's what's going to happen. Let's say your rent is, for example, $500 a month. So if your rent is $500 a month and you've only stayed with me for 6 months and you have 6 months left on the contract, technically the contract states that you owe me $500 for another 6 months. That's a lot of money. That's actually thousands of dollars. So what I would do is I would take that lump sum, thousands of dollars, and I would put that against your bad credit because that's what you still owe me. Okay? But if you give me 2 months notice, give me a chance to fill your room. Okay, give me 2 months notice. All I will do is just take away that penalty fee of 1 month's rent, and then we both walk away happy. No hard feelings. I won't report you to the credit bureau. That's it. We'll both walk away. Okay. And that right there was the ending part of what I just said about the bad credit. Okay. Down here explains that some of the properties, the tenants actually want to rent a wireless router from me. So that's just going to be a charge of $1 per month. So you let me know if that's what you wish to do, and we can take care of that. This part right here is where I will be giving you the address of where to send the checks to, okay? And this down here is where we date and sign of the contract. So that concludes this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, email me, or give me a call, and I will be happy to discuss any questions with you. Thanks a lot.